I'm Kinglink and it's November 2021, so of course it's time for the Humble Choice November 2021 review. This month is a little odd. Normally there are 12 titles to choose from, but this month for some reason Humble's reduced it down to 10, though you get all 10 like usual. It's something I've been asking for. I was actually hoping that instead of throwing in random cheap titles to get their numbers up, fewer titles could be higher quality. Does it work out that way? Well, let's talk about each title. And I know some people will immediately dismiss this bundle because they don't know the names in it. I get it. I actually thought it was a joke at first, as you'll see on screen, and I still question it a bit, but give me under 20 minutes and I'll see if I can find some value here for you. Starting with Due Process, Indie Rainbow Six. Let's get these out of the way. Due Process is an early access, multiplayer only tactical shooter very similar to Rainbow Six, and the player base is a little bit on the small side. The art here is good, but it's clear that this was made by a smaller team, which of course it was. Once you play Due Process though, everything here works together. Maps are randomized, so you have to constantly plan your new approach based on what the map has. The tile sets are great as well. I really like the arena set. The tools for tactics are well made, including a map that allows quick and easy strategic decisions and discussions. The gameplay all works well together to the point that you're going to be sitting there and listening for the enemy's approach, and then you have to react to how they attack if you're defending. While the player base is smaller, the team I found was extremely welcoming and understanding of how new I was. It was a completely positive experience. Pick this up if you like tactical shooters. Now it is multiplayer, and of course that means that the player base might dry up. But I'd also recommend getting together with up to 4 of your friends and joining as a group. I expect you to have a great time together. Normally, multiplayer is a no-go for me, but I was actually surprised at how solid this game was and enjoyed myself quite a bit. I do wish them the best. This actually does deserve a bigger audience and going up against an absolute giant in Rainbow Six. House Flipper. 35k for a house? Well, I guess we're not going for realism in this game. House Flipper is a simple concept. You buy a house, do some construction, and then sell it for massive money. And that's really the core of the game. At the beginning of the game, you do small jobs for various people, everything from repainting a room to removing a wall and replacing it. It's a simple idea to start with, but then you earn enough money to buy a house and the game really gets going. House Flipper is admittedly a little shallow though. This isn't a deep construction simulator, it's just a fun game where there's multiple different jobs such as cleaning up messes, replacing bad appliances, and more. Almost nothing takes more than a couple seconds to pull off. You can quickly add a new sink to a wall with a few button presses, but that's also what kind of works here. It's the fun of renovation without the absolute horror of it, and trust me, it's not that easy in real life. Pick this up if you want a fun, relaxed sim. This reminds me quite a bit of Train Station Renovation, a game I enjoyed quite a bit a couple months ago, but I would say House Flipper is the better of the two. There's actually a few minor bugs and issues here, but overall they shouldn't get in the way. Though I will say how the devs advertise the DLC for the game in the shop of the actual game is kind of gaudy. And there's a lot of DLC here as well, like 40 bucks worth. Still, I had a lot of fun and I made a good profit. Project Wingman, an indie ace combat that can hold its own. Project Wingman is an arcade flight game where you shoot down enemies and take on large-scale missions. It really feels like Ace Combat and there's nothing wrong with that at all. As a fan of that series, this gives me all the same thrills and it does it so well. I actually found this game was made by 3 developers and was a Kickstarter. I actually couldn't tell either of those things from the game itself. I've played now for 4 hours and it's a great game. Project Wingman looks gorgeous and controls well. There's also VR support, though I haven't had a chance to try that out. Now there are also a few issues. The story isn't great, but then again neither is Ace Combat or anything in this genre. There doesn't appear to be checkpoints in the mission, and these missions are decently long. And I would say the game scales just a bit easy, though harder difficulties will give fans of the genre a real challenge. But at the same time, none of that really harms the experience of Project Wingman. Pick this up if you like Ace Combat. This isn't a flight sim with realistic physics. You just jump in a wide range of planes, fly around, demolish bad guys, and you're doing it in style. This is just an impressive game, made even more impressive by the size of the team and the quality of the final product. Sector D2 deserves a lot of applause, and you should check this one out. Wingspan. Exactly how you want to make a digital version of a board game. Now to start here, Wingspan is a very popular Euro board game. It's actually ranked 21 overall on BoardGameGeek, which is a pretty reliable site, and that ranking is extremely impressive. This is a digital version of that game, and honestly, I think they've captured the feeling perfectly. The tutorial takes an hour to go through, which is a pretty long time. I actually played a little extra on this one, and after playing through that though, I get why it's popular. This game is so well designed. At the same time though, it is a Euro board game. It's complex with a lot of different rules and scoring potential. Luckily, the game takes care of all of its counting and makes it an easy game to play quick moves and build out interesting strategies. This is a great way to play the game. Normally a game in person is better, but I think I'd actually boot this up with the family. It also supports up to 5 human players and allows you to play online as well. Pick this up if you like board games or card games. It's a fun, inventive game, and once you learn the rules in that first hour, you're going to have a great time. There are a few different modes that you can play as well as online with a weekly leaderboard, which means you will be busy. BPM, bullets per minute. Rock it out to the sound of your gunfire. Don't adjust your speakers. I'm actually playing music for this title. You see, BPM is an interesting concept. Your actions need to be done on the beat. Shooting, dashing, jumping are all done at the rhythm of the music, and of course this music rocks. I couldn't help but jam out every time I played, and man, it sounds so good when you're in the flow. If you play this game rhythmically, you're going to have some awesome tunes. The action is hot, the game is very challenging, and all I wanted to do is play another round. There's also a lot of difficulty levels, different characters, assist modes, including one that actually takes out the rhythm aspect of your actions. Now, you shouldn't use that one because it's really not the real game, and it makes it feel like you have induced lag in the game, but it is available if you need it. Pick this up if you like rock operas, rhythm games, or oh yeah, rogue-lites. This game is so good, I pretty much forgot it's a rogue-lite. This was just a blast to play. If you're not sold yet, you should definitely check out the trailer. If you like that music, it's an easy recommendation. And for a strange comparison, this is like an FPS version of Crypt of the Necrodancer, though the music here is far better. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. Tax evasion has never been this much fun. You know, Turnip Boy is a rather fun game. It's actually quite hilarious at times. Simple jokes just work, such as instead of a checklist of what you've accomplished, it's a list of documents that you ripped up, and of course that is what Turnip Boy does all the time. The writing is extremely well done, there's interesting storylines and arcs, and everything feels enjoyable. The gameplay is similar to a top-down adventure game. You know, I'd easily say Zelda, I think everyone has, but that does oversell this game. It's more like Minute or something in that vein, you know, just a scaled-down game. The game has bosses that are challenging and the combat is engaging, but it's not really too deep. It's just a fun little journey with inventive locations, characters, and writings, such as a blueberry trying to get together with the strawberry, but when she gives you a letter to hand to him, you of course instead rip it up, because, like I said, that is what Turnip Boy does. Check that off the documents to rip list. Pick this up if you like some of the humor on screen or want a game like Minute. Like I said, this is not Zelda, even though there are traces of it in the style. It's a short 2-hour game, but it's one I'm really looking forward to returning to and seeing how it ends. SimpleRockets 2. So many ways to crash and burn, and I think I'm finding all of them. SimpleRockets 2 is a rocket building game that feels like it was inspired by Kerbal Space Program. You build rockets, try to launch them, and see if you can complete different goals. The game is in early access right now, so eventually there's going to be more features and missions. Right now there's just a simple tutorial that teaches you some of the basics and a lot of tools, like a ton. You can build everything from rockets to planes to even Mars rovers. The biggest thing though, similar to Kerbal, is you really make your own fun. While there are a few missions in the game, most of the time you'll be coming up with your own task and then trying to accomplish it without the game actually tracking progress. However, SimpleRockets 2 is just fun to build wild and outlandish designs. Unfortunately, there's a lot of UI work, so I couldn't really show too much. Enjoy the video of me just launching the starter rocket though. Most of the time though, I stopped trying to beat a level and just enjoyed the insanity of a bad design. Pick this up if you like Kerbal Space Program and want to take a bit of a gamble on the final version. This is well supported and could be closing in on a release, I think. There's also workshop support, but it is actually on their website, not on Steam, likely due to how they have a mobile version of the game and they want to have cross-play as well. Timelie. A stealth puzzle game that's a little too slow. Timelie, at least that's how I'm pronouncing it, is a stealth game. And when I played this game, I actually was thinking a lot about Hitman Go or Lara Croft Go. Both slow, methodical games that really focus on puzzle solving. Now there's also a time manipulation aspect to Timelie, and it seems like the type of game that I'd really enjoy. But after an hour, I was ready to move on. I had seen a new character team up with the player and do a few new things, but the almost non-existent music, the boring levels, and the missing story just made me question why I would choose this over pretty much all the other games out there. There was very little challenge to Timelie, and I felt like I had seen most of this done before. Pick this up if you want a stealth puzzle game, but truthfully, I really feel no pull to return to this title. The time manipulation should have felt unique, but it just feels like a way to take back moves rather than a deep mechanic. At the same time, it's not a horrible game, just not something that was really compelling. Wrath, Aeon of Ruin, a game based on the Quake engine, the Quake 1 engine. Wrath, Aeon of Ruin is a classic FPS, and it means that in every sense of the word. Well, there's a lot here. This is a game running on an engine from over 25 years ago, a heavily modified version of the original Quake 1 engine, and it's doing pretty well with that. There are updated weapons, enemies, and even a crazy new save system where you have to find items to allow you to save. It's pretty fun. At the same time, this is an ancient engine, and it kind of shows its age. There's no controller support, the menus are pretty bad, and while the save system is good, it's also a little wonky at times. The game is decently difficult, but it's difficult for a 25-year-old game. It's going to be a heavy challenge to most new players. It's a game made for fans of Quake and fast-paced shooters, which is good for those players, but this is a game that really knows what audience it's aiming for. Pick this up if you want a game similar to Quake or old-school FPSs, of course. If you remember Project Warlock from Humble Choice in February 2020 and want an even faster-paced game, this is perfect for you. I'm not a huge fan of it, but this is a very impressive effort, though I will mention this is still early access. It kind of seems pretty close to finish from what I can find. Mobius Front 83. Zachtronics meets Advance Wars, and I'm loving it. Mobius Front is a hexagon-based tactical shooter. Your units can move and shoot, as can the enemies, but there's a ton of information on display and decisions you're going to have to make based on what you can see. Even this game, which is not a puzzle game, feels like a puzzle game when Zachtronics gets their hands on it. It has the most amazing feeling when you make a full plan, execute it, and suddenly everything goes your way. This is a slow-paced game though. You'll move your units and then you have to wait to see what the enemy responds with. It's extremely tactical and plan-heavy, where you're going to have to study the situation and then you can use logic and reason to find strong and interesting moves. Like most Zachtronics games, this is going to appeal to, well, people who like Zachtronics games, like Magnum Opus, Exapunks, Space Chem. Even when this is a completely different genre, it still has a similar feeling. Pick this up if you like Wargroove or Advance Wars. This is very similar to both of those titles, while still feeling fresh and new. Personal opinion, I love Zachtronics games and I picked this one up at launch because I'm a huge fan, but I also fully recognize this is still a game that's pretty much made for the programmer part of my brain. Naiad, a game that needed an explanation. Naiad says it's a relaxing, minimalist, colorful exploration. And I actually found those words in an option on the main menu after I had played the game for like 30 minutes, and I really couldn't figure out what the game was doing or trying to do. Humble once again provides a game that could use a little extra information. Naiad is serene though, and maybe it was after playing House Flipper, Timelie, and Wingspan all back to back that I didn't really need another serene game. However, I also couldn't figure out why I should complete tasks for this cloud that gave me hints for different things. This feels like a game that's kind of lacking a purpose, and then is called minimalist because there's really nothing else in it. It's not bad, it just feels like it's either hiding the creator's vision, or the creator lacked one. Pick this up if you want to chill out with something calm and soothing. Naiad gives you the freedom to play your own way. Maybe if I was in a different mood, I'll pick it up again, and it'll chill me right out. But I do think Humble really should have given this game a small blurb on their site, just so I knew what I was getting myself into. You know guys, just a paragraph, nothing too much. So that's what I have for the Humble choice, and coming into the choice, seeing the list of games, I was pretty sure I was going to hate this. I even wrote down my first thoughts in the comment at the beginning of this video. Now there are fewer games, and the games aren't exactly major titles, but as I started covering the titles, I actually noticed something. I enjoyed almost all these titles, or at least understood who would. In the past we had extra games like Fantasy Blacksmith, Hive Swarm, Friend Sim, and Swag and Sorcery. These were kind of bad choices for Humble Choice that felt like they were just shoved in. Now there are only 10 games in the choice, which had been something I had asked for previously, at least a way to alleviate this problem. Is this exactly what I wanted? No, and at the end of the day, November's Humble Choice has a major issue. There's not an extremely strong central game that's going to appeal to everyone. There's no Katana Zero or even PGA Golf for a $60 title. And yes, PGA Golf was still a bad choice on its own, but at least it was a major title in the game. Due Process isn't exactly that. House Flipper also feels odd as PC Builder Simulator from back in January, and while I love Project Wingman, it's probably only appealing to me. That's kind of the big problem I have with this month. Every game is niche, meaning every game is going to appeal to a very specific fan base, and those fan bases are a little small. There's not a large, wide-scale mainstream game here, or big headliner that everyone's going to look forward to. I'm not saying every game should be a AAA big blockbuster, but at least a game that the majority of gamers will be interested in and are excited for. Here, everything is in well-defined but small corners of gaming. Yet even without the headliner, I'm oddly impressed by this choice. There's a lot of quality games, and there are games that people are going to enjoy here, including some hidden gems. This is also a bundle that has never been bundled before, at least that was true until Fanatical actually announced their November Platinum bundle that has Wingspan in it. Still, this is a very fresh offering. Is Humble actually listening to their fans? Man, I hope so. If they realize they could give us only 10 titles and make them all higher quality, great. If they're going to stop bundling games or giving games that were available elsewhere, that's fantastic news as well. I would say this is a great first step, and I hope that they can push this farther, because November is an oddly strong month in my book. And like I said, I was pretty harsh on this bundle when it was first announced, but now that I've played it, it's good. Though Due Process, Wrath, Aeon of Ruin, and SimpleRockets 2 are all early access, and Due Process is definitely struggling with its player base, so Humble, I mean come on, you can do better, I have faith in you. I'm also going to make a personal change. Normally I rank the strongest and the weakest of the month. This month, I really don't think we should make the weakest list. I honestly don't think anything truly deserves to be on that. People have been asking me to rank all the games, so I think we're going to try it. We'll have a low tier, a mid tier, and a high tier. Now this is all personal opinion going from what I enjoyed the most and what I think you should try out. Starting with the low tier, there's only 2 games. At the bottom of the low tier we have Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. This is the one game that I just didn't enjoy as much as the others. It has an audience, but that audience is just going to be Quake 1 fans. Still, very impressive effort on this one. And at the top of the low tier, we have Timelie. I just didn't click with this game and it feels a bit bare bones. I'm sure people are going to enjoy it, but as I said, I feel no pull to return to this title, and that's a bad sign for a puzzle game. So that was low tier, and yeah, we now have these nice little tier lists for you to look at. Hopefully this will make it easier to summarize these games and let you know what I'm thinking. Next up, let's talk about mid tier. Now the bottom of mid tier is SimpleRockets 2. This is a good, solid game, but I kind of struggle with an important question. Is it better than Kerbal, or would I recommend this compared to Kerbal? The answer is I just don't know. But I also do hope that final version will make it an easier recommendation. The next game in mid-tier is Due Process. Due Process is good, but with some small asterisks. I do feel like the game's player base is a little worrisome, but I could find a match pretty easily. Yet I also think this is a great tactical shooter and worth trying out, thanks to the players who welcomed me so easily. The next game in mid-tier is House Flipper, which is a solid title and a lot of fun. But it is a simulation game and feels a little cheesy at times. Still, I love the repairs and how easy it is to work on a house. God, I wish housework was like that. The final game in mid-tier is Mobius Front 83. Yeah, Zachtronics. Now this is a fantastic take on Advance Wars. I really love the tactical gameplay here. However, I also do acknowledge this will probably appeal to the same audience as all Zachtronic games do, which is of course me, and that's perfectly fine. And that was the mid-tier, which means you should be able to figure out what's in the high tier, but what is the order? That is the question. Yes, including Mobius Front though, this is the top 5, which means the bottom of the high tier, and number 4 is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Now this is only so low because of that length. I laughed so hard on stream while playing this game. Maybe it's humor that really only is going to work on me, but it nailed it. Definitely going to be finishing this one. Might even start playing it after I finish this recording. Who knows? The next game in high tier and number 3 is Wingspan. This is a great adaptation of the Eurogame, though it is a bit slow-paced to play. Still, it's a perfect game for all ages, especially families, and it's so well designed. Kudos again to the designer of the board game, Elizabeth Hargrave. I'm actually considering checking out the actual game. The next game in high tier and number 2 is BPM, Bullets Per Minute. Just rocking out to this game was so much fun. It's a blast to play and pure adrenaline. I'm actually curious what else the game has because, yeah, I haven't unlocked anything else outside of a few levels in practice mode, but I will be back to check out more. And the final game in high tier, and my game of the month, Project Wingman. As I said, I'm a fan of Ace Combat, and Project Wingman delivers the same experience. The high-octane flight, the massive combat, the watching enemies and friends getting blown out of the sky, and I'm saying this without even trying VR or the Conquest mode, which might be a little bit like a rogue-lite. I'm thrilled to have covered this game yet again. And let's show that final tier list. So, what do you guys think about the tier list? Is it better than the top 5, or what should I do? Let me know down in the comments. Also, what do you think about this humble choice? Am I overselling it? Is this Stockholm Syndrome? Am I like a captive of theirs? Or is this better than it looks at first? If next month it looks like this again, I probably wouldn't have a huge issue with that. I do, of course, prefer bigger titles, everyone does. But 10 games where I can say there's not really a clunker in them, I don't know if I could say that ever for Humble Choice before this. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and if you really liked it, ring the bell to be notified when I post a new video. Supposedly, it sometimes works. Now, people have asked how they can support the channel. I really appreciate that. I'm working on stuff, but keep sharing my videos with others whenever you think it's appropriate, whether it's social media, Reddit, or just to friends. It always helps. Every viewer is important to me, and I really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to be popping up some more videos if you want to see more from me. These are the last 2 Xbox Game Pass videos. There's a ton of interesting games in there, and they're all worth checking out. Even if you're not a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass, it's all the new games, pretty much. See you next time.